All right, what's up, guys? Michael Edward here, head trader at True Trading Group. It is May 8th. Extremely frustrating day for me. This video is going to be completely mental based. I had really one shining spot today, and that was my CODX swing trade. So yesterday I put out a video. We talked about I had 3 open swing trades. 2 were small positions. One is a full-size position, and that's CODX. I'm long CODX in 1470. I took 25% of that position off the table today at 1562, and I'm still long the bulk, looking for a breakout. Let's just cover CODX real quick, and then I want to get to what was an extremely frustrating day for me today. So here's CODX, guys. Get out to the daily chart. I would just suggest you go back and watch my video from yesterday where I talk about the entire setup and game plan with this CODX. But you guys can see here just this line where this like 1575 area is where we need to break above in order for us to get a nice little move. And if we do get above this level, I think we can see $18, $19. That'll be kind of my next target. But this morning, we pushed right. I got long yesterday for a swing trade right there. And this morning, I sold 25% of my position on that break to new highs in front of this resistance level, just in case that resistance level doesn't break. I wanted to take some profit off the table there in front of that high. So that's what I did right there. Still long 75% of that position. We also have MGNX, which I bought MGNX right there and right there a couple days ago, and I sold that position. I sold some here and I sold some there, and I'm still holding 25% of the position. Again, this is a small size position that I'm sitting in. I'm only long 25% of what I have left from this day. So this one really isn't the end of the world if it doesn't work out for me. If it gets below this 1925 area, I'm going to stop out. We tested that area today, late in the day, and that first attempt we held. So we got to see if that level continues to hold. Then on the daily chart, we may be forming a little bit of a flag pattern, and maybe we get another round higher in a couple of days. So I'm still long 25% of that, and then now we'll start to get into where things went south for me today. Today is not a disaster day P&L wise. I'm red. It's not a disaster blow up day because of the mental lessons that we're going to talk about. Okay. This is going to be a really good video. This is something that a lot of traders struggle with big time, and that's getting stopped out and the stock continues higher without you. Okay. I got stopped out today 3 times. All 3 times, the stock ended up going back in the direction that I thought it was going to go. Extremely frustrating day for me. Now, this does not happen often, but it is something that will happen to you for the rest of your trading career. We have a lot of TGD members today that were saying that say to me, "Oh, Mike, I want to get to your levels so this stuff doesn't happen anymore. And I'm always getting stopped out and the stock was higher without me." And today was like the perfect example where I'm like, guys, look, it happens to me too. So even once you get to, a different place in your trading career, so a place that you want to get to success wise, there's no way around this. There's no way to stop this from happening to you 100%. It's just part of the game. I had a huge April. Accuracy in April was over 80%, which is high for me. My year average is in the low 70s, probably like 73% is my year average. I traded very, very well in the month of May, the month of April. So I had a big month in April. I had a good first week of May, and then the stock market gods just had to remind me today who's in charge, who's really running this game, and who's playing it. I'm just playing it; they're running it. And they humbled me, and getting stopped out 3 times, and then the stock's moving higher or moving in the direction that I was looking for, not necessarily higher, because a couple of them I was actually short. So getting stopped out and the stock continuing in the direction that I initially thought it was going to was extremely frustrating for me today. It happened to me in WTRH, it happened to me in BYND, and it happened to me in PRAA. So just an extremely frustrating day. And the thing that I want you to take away from this day more than anything else is I have to recognize that I was frustrated, that I'm angry. You have to be able to have the self-awareness and the self-discipline to recognize when you're frustrated, when you're angry, and when your emotions are taking over. Even the best traders in the world are going to have bad days, but everyone has bad days. Every trader has bad days. But the difference is, how do you deal with those bad days? How do you deal with the emotions? How do you deal with that frustration? I was talking to people in chat today. I'm like, guys, it's similar to when you're talking about, um, like Mariano Rivera, one of the greatest closers of all time. If you guys don't know anything about baseball, he's the greatest. He's one of the best pitchers of all time. He used to pitch for the New York Yankees. And even, there more people have walked on the moon than have scored a run off of Mariano Rivera in the playoffs. Okay. So put it that way. That's how good and dominant the guy is. But even he has off days. And as a pitcher, when you're off, your catcher can tell you that, hey, you don't have this, your stuff's not that great today. Your ball's not moving as much. And your coach can come out there and your coach can take you out of the game and put in somebody else. You don't have that in trading. You have to be your own coach. You have to be able to say, you don't have your stuff today. You got to take yourself out of the game before you make it worse. You can't chase a red day. What I mean by chase a red day is you recognize that you're not trading well. You're angry, you're frustrated, you're red on the day. If you continue to push because you're trying to get back to even on the day, that's you chasing a red day. You're chasing your loss. Okay. Do not fall victim to chasing a red day. 9 times out of 10, when you chase that day, you're going to make it worse because you're not trading well to begin with. And now your emotions are taking over. You're angry, you're frustrated, which means you're going to probably trade even worse. Okay. I recognize today, after it happened to me for the 3rd time, that I just got so frustrated. I actually threw my headset, which is uncharacteristic. I haven't really done that in a while, but I was so aggravated today that I actually just kind of threw my headset. And right then I had to get up from my desk. I walked away. I went, I made myself a drink, water, not an alcoholic drink, although I probably should have. But I went, I got a drink of water. I played with my dog a little bit. I just kind of just walked around my house. I just kind of just got my mind off it. Went to the bathroom. I just like had to reset and get my emotions under control. And then I came back and I sat down at my desk and I came back on the mic and I was talking to all our members saying, guys, listen, I'm right on the day, obviously. But it's not a disaster of a day. It's a regular red day because one of the positions I had already taken some profit off and then I got stopped out and then it went back in my favor. Another position I got stopped out, but I only had 25% of the position left. And the other position was full size. So I didn't get crushed. It wasn't like it wasn't the loss that aggravated me. It was the stop out and then continuing in the direction that I was originally looking for that just frustrated the hell out of me. I would rather just be wrong and lose money. It's easier for me to deal with. I'm wrong. I should lose money rather than I'm right. My execution was poor and I lost money. That to me frustrates me even more. And this takes me to another topic. My execution. Some people ask me in chat today, Mike, well, once you realized that the stock was coming back, why didn't you just get back in it? And this takes me to what I was just talking about my execution was poor. When I say my execution was poor, I don't mean necessarily that I did something wrong because I just stuck to my stop losses on my trades. I don't think my stop losses went in the wrong place. It was a very choppy session in the stocks that I was trading, and they just shook me out. I mean, they just shook me out, guys. I'll walk you through. I'm gonna show you all these trades. They were brutal. I mean, I think my stop losses, I think, were in the right places, and I just ended up getting stopped out, and then the stocks continued in that direction. But the point that I'm getting at is that I don't ever, or you will rarely ever see me get stopped out and then get right back into the trade. Why do I do that? Because way more often than not, when I get stopped out, it's the right move. The stock's going to continue lower. Okay. If I get stopped out, 90% of the time, if I'm getting stopped out, I'm right to get stopped out and the stock continues lower. The other times I'll get stopped out and it will continue. So you can't just sit there. How do you know when is the time that you're going to get stopped out? It's going to continue, or it's going to get stopped out. It's going to continue lower. So to sit there and just be like, oh, why don't you just buy it right back? If you're going to do that, you are going to drive yourself so crazy, because there's going to be so many more times that you're going to get stopped out. It's going to not crash yet. You're going to be like, oh, it's still alive. You're going to buy it right back. Then it's going to roll. And now you just turned one losing trade into two. What should have been one loss is now two. And what that's going to do, never mind what that does to your P&L, because now you just took two losses instead of one. What that's going to do to your mind and your psychology for that day, you're screwed for the whole rest of the day. You might as well shut your computer off, because you're going to be so angry at yourself for buying the stock back and losing twice. It's going to screw you up for the entire rest of the day. I guarantee it. You have to just be okay with, I got stopped out, and trust yourself that if you got stopped out, it was for good reason. Because well more than 50% of the time, when you get stopped out, it's going to be the right move. There's going to be times that you're going to get stopped out and then it will continue in the direction of your favor. There's no way around that from happening. I've been doing this 16 years. I'm a very successful trader. It still happens. Happened to me today. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. There's no way for you to say, Mike, how do I stop this from happening to me? Okay. And you have to make sure your stop loss is in the right place to begin with. But even if your stop loss is in the right place and you even give it a little extra room and you're loose with that stop loss, it's still going to happen to you sometimes. It's just the way trading is. I wish there was a way that I can tell you guys this will never happen to you ever again. But believe me, 10 years from now, it's still going to happen to you. It's just going to happen less and less and less frequent. And it becomes a matter of how do you deal with it when it happens that makes the difference in your trading and the difference in your P&L in the long run. So you have to be able to have the self-discipline, the self-awareness to say, I'm pissed off, I'm frustrated, I should not be trading right now, and take yourself out. You have to be your own coach. Your coach is not going to come out there and take you out of the game. You have to take yourself out of the game. Okay? Let's talk about these trades so you guys can just kind of get a feel for what happened to me today. We'll start with WTRH. WTRH was one of my swing trades from yesterday. Now, I was in a small position. I only had 25% of my size. I caught that move in the afternoon in WTRH, and I took 75% of my position off the table yesterday. Okay, so I'd already pulled profit off the table. I'm holding 25% because I thought WTRH had more room for continuation today when I was looking at the daily chart. Turns out I was dead right. However, my stop loss, I said, was going to be around 215. Why? Because yesterday afternoon, you guys can see this resistance that was here at 215. We broke above that at 2 o'clock. We pulled in, and then it became support, and then we had that push. Okay, this is where I got long yesterday, and we caught this push. So in the morning, this thing opened up and just collapsed. I mean, like, it just went with a big volume bar just right out of the bell, and I was like, what the hell? We just flushed right through that level, went all the way down to 206. I stopped out at 211. Okay, my stop loss was a 215 area. I stopped out at 211. Take you guys to my trade announcements. Where are we? Here we go at 9:35 a.m. Sold out remaining WTRH at 211. Okay. Again, if you guys missed my video yesterday about the swing trades, go back, check them out, because this will put everything into context for you for the WTRH trade and the CODX trade as well that I was talking about earlier today. So I got stopped out there, and then this happens. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm very frustrated. Okay, but I stuck to my stop loss. I even gave myself some extra wiggle room. It's like when we got down to 215, I didn't just bang out of the position. It went all the way down to like 209, 210. And then it didn't bounce. It came to like 211, 212, 213, 211, 212, 210, 212, 211, 213, 210. Like it wasn't bouncing when it got to that level. And I was like, oh man, this thing's dead. I bailed out at 211. It ended up going down further to 206. And then it just stuck its foot in the ground and then just took off like a bat out of hell. I'm like, what the hell was that? Did I do something wrong? I don't know. I mean, I think my stop loss was in a good place. What was I supposed to do? Hold it down to here? $2, 195. Okay, I mean, maybe. But nonetheless, I get stopped out of my position. The stock continues higher without me. So right off the bat, I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated because the stock ended up going higher without me, but it was a small position. So it wasn't the end of the world. It was only 25% of what I had yesterday, but it still bothered me. But I still had not kind of unraveled yet. Then we had PRAA. I loved this thing for a short play today with this ascending wedge. Okay, beautiful ascending wedge right in front of a key resistance area. Okay, this 3550 area. Okay, you guys can see here, nice resistance here in September, nice resistance in October. They kind of gapped above it, and then it became an area, okay, of support. Okay, so I'm looking at this level, okay, to be an area of resistance. And then when I look intraday, there's the level. Okay, back to the daily chart. There's the level. I'm not going to touch it. We're going to go to the 3-minute. There it is. So I have an ascending wedge pattern, which is a bearish pattern happening right into a major resistance level on the daily. So I went ahead and I got short right there. Take you guys to my trade announcements. Where are we? Here we are, 10:21 a.m. Short PRAA at 34.90. Stop loss 36 area. Okay, $36 area. This line is 35.50, 35.60. I'm giving myself an extra 40, 50 cents of wiggle room on this trade. Okay, I pull the trigger, we roll. My first take profit is right here. Why is this my first take profit? Guys, when you have wedge patterns, you can use the touch points on the wedge. Like you see how we touch the wedge here, we touch the wedge here, okay, touch the wedge here. You can use the touches as support or resistance zones, whether it's a break to the upside out of a wedge or a break to the downside out of the wedge. You can use those touches as minor resistance and minor support levels that can help you identify potential profit zones. Okay, so that's why that was my first take profit area, and I took my first piece of profit, 25% of the position. You guys can see here at 10.27, took some profit, covered PRAA at 33.26, still holding. Okay, and then you can see we bounce all the way up, break the high of the day, break through 36. I stop out of my position right there. Back to my announcements. At 11:23 a.m., covered remaining PRAA at 36.06. The high of the day is 36.50. And then it pulls all the way back in. So the stock didn't roll over. Okay, it's not like the stock completely rolled over and I'm like, oh my God. But covering the rest of my position up here at 36.06 versus covering the position maybe here or here, maybe taking some of the position off the table, big difference in my P&L. Okay, big difference. So again, another time I get stopped out and then the stock pulls back in the direction that I was looking for it to go. Extremely frustrating. Okay, this is the second time that it happened to me. Then we go to Beyond Meat. Beyond Meat, I'm looking for resistance at 135. Why 135? Let me take you to the daily chart. Here you guys can see strong double top resistance in January. As you look back to the left, September, August, June, major support at 135. This is a major level for Beyond Meat. Okay, and we just ran from 90 to that 135 in 1 week. That is a big move for this stock. When stocks have big extension moves and the top of that move is running into a major resistance level, it's very, very difficult for the stock to still have momentum to break through it on the first try because it's exhausting some of its momentum to make this move. Okay, it's different if a stock is consolidating underneath that level, kind of recharging its battery, and then makes the break. Okay, because the stock still has momentum, or the stock will be giving you like a new breakout. So when stocks have these big moves up into resistance zones, it's tough to break it on the first try. All right. So this was the first attempt at this level today on Beyond Meat. And Beyond Meat was also forming an ascending wedge pattern. Okay. So another ascending wedge reversal pattern into a major resistance level at 135. So I go ahead and I get short Beyond Meat right there. Take you to my trade announcements. You guys can see I'm short Beyond Meat at 133.45. Okay, 133.45. There I am. Actually, it's right there. There I am short. Okay, 133.45. And what do? We go all the way up here. We break through the high of the day. Not even. Okay, we break through the high of the day, and I stop out right there. Back to my alerts. Covered 135.67. Guys, I'm giving these stocks room. It's not like, okay, 135 and I stopped out at 135.03. Okay, I gave this thing all the way to the better half of the $0.50. Okay, I gave it all the way up to the 135.60s. Needless to say, the dead high of the day is 136.00. I got stopped out 30 cents from the high. And then, that's when I lost it. This is when I lost it. Because then you had, as soon as I cover, you have this big drop. And that's when I lost it. That's when I threw my headset and I said, okay, enough's enough. This is ridiculous now that this is going to happen to me 3 times in the same day. At this moment, I said, I'm done. I got up from my chair. I walked away. And then by the time I came back and I sat at my desk, I came back on the microphone and I told everybody, guys, I'm done for the day. I'm done for the day. I'm taking myself out of the game because I'm frustrated, I'm angry, and I'm red, but it's not a disaster, okay? Because like I said, this was my full-size loss. WTRH was only 25% of my position from the day before. And PRAA, I had taken some profit off the table, so I wasn't losing on my full position. I had some profit from the piece that I took off. So I didn't get hurt today. It was just an extremely frustrating day. And I didn't want to chase the red day. I just kind of said, okay, I'm frustrated. I'm going to accept my L today, and I'll go over the weekend. I'll forget about today. I'll come back Monday fresh with a clean slate, clean head, clean mindset, forget about today, and come back ready to kick some ass and take some names. And that's what I did. And I shut it down for the rest of the day, and I didn't make another trade. Okay? So what I want you guys to take away from my trading day today is the self-awareness of how you need to handle yourself when you realize that you're getting emotional and you're getting frustrated. You have to be able to really like have like an outer body experience and look over your shoulder and be like, hey man, you really probably shouldn't be trading right now. And you have to be able to listen to yourself and listen to your inner side and not chase that red day, because 9 times out of 10, when you chase that red day, you're going to make it worse. Okay. I hope you guys all have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe, be smart. I hope this helps. I'll see you guys on Monday. Take care.